The greatest struggle for an artist, a content creator, an entrepreneur, or any creative human being is to get his art or product accepted by people. It's great when one eventually gets there. I recently read Kevin Hart's book, I Can't Make This Up, a few months ago, and I read this book dropping line that I still remember to this day. It was something to the effect of, struggling when you're going somewhere is exciting. Struggling when you're not getting anywhere is challenging. But struggling when you're going backwards, that is hell. Now, as much as Kevin and your friends, your relatives, your parents want you to go forward, there are certain traps that we sort of set for ourselves that, force us to move backwards. And as someone who always used to overthink things before getting it done, I can vouch for how much a pessimistic thought that is. Now, that thought, that cloud of doubt that looms over our head, is a seed that multiplies into a resistive force that hampers any possible progress. It is the pinnacle of toxicity. It is 6 words. It has already been done before. A great example of this is this very video where I wanted to talk about my understanding of what creativity is. But yet, I know that I've not done enough creative things in life for me to put up a camera and talk about it. But sometimes during the day, or when I close my eyes before sleeping at night, I find myself fantasizing with these thoughts. I find myself wrestling with these thoughts, trying to understand what my interpretation of creativity is, and resisting the urge to share it with the world. I always thought that creativity was something new and something that was to be built from the ground up. When Carl Benz built the automobile, that was creativity to me. When Edison invented the light bulb, that was creativity to me. When Steve Jobs introduced the iPhone, that was creativity to me. In short, invention was equal to creativity for me. But over the course of time, my definition of creativity has changed massively, and I sit before you with these half-baked thoughts wanting to share it with you.
Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot.
Now, being honest, didn't you think that this was some famous philosopher, maybe Socrates, maybe an Alan Watts? But no, this was Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee's martial art talent is no stranger to the world. In fact, as someone who's been studying martial arts, who's been reading about it, who's been trying to understand it, I have found that a ton of other men were as skilled as Bruce Lee, if not more. But why was he special? In addition to his martial arts skill, what made him an interesting cat was his take on philosophy, which earned him this huge iconic status. So when you're combining two things that are supposedly not supposed to be combined by the society, I've observed that it pushes the envelope of creativity and gems blossom out of it if you get the combination right. Now that we've looked at something at a human level, let's look at something from a business perspective. Coffee, at least to me, is the most boring drink that you can ever have. It has no self-respect of its own. It's available at all times. In fact, coffee to me is like a recently broken relationship. It's bittersweet, it's literally one call away, and it keeps you awake at night. But just like every human being or every object eventually finds its soulmate, coffee found its soulmate in Starbucks. Now, I understand materialistic possessions, like, for example, hey, look at my Ferrari, or hey, look at my bungalow, or hey, look at my iPhone. I get all that. But brother, if you can make coffee an exciting drink, you've definitely earned yourself the badge of creativity. So Starbucks took something terrifyingly boring and made it extremely exciting, and boom.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Call back all 3 points and give you a pieced summary on where I'm going with this. Maybe we are one step away from combining those two things that society asks us not to combine to figure out our way in life. Or maybe a business is out there with a diminishing product and is looking for a mind like yours to bring back life to its product. Or maybe we are all one step away from sharing that perspective that we wanted to share to get all that validation that we've craved for. And if you have any of these thoughts floating in your head,